Most people keep recreating the same experiences in their love life and life because they're letting their past dictate their future. But that doesn't have to be your story. So stay tuned. We're going to dive in deep. Hey everyone, my name is Velez. I am a former trauma therapist, and now I'm a transformation coach where I not only started this self-concept and love movement several years ago, I reprogrammed my entire self-concept, and I have helped thousands of other amazing, incredible women do exactly the same. So how many times I've heard this story when it comes to struggling in love, struggling in life, where I'm thinking of a particular client in mind where she just constantly felt stuck. Like no matter what she was doing, no matter how much she was affirming, no matter, whatever she was thinking different, believing different, reprogramming, all of the above, she kept in manifesting the people in her love life, including specific persons and new people, mirroring back to her same old story, month after month after month. This is common, and I'm going to talk to you about why and then what I did when I coached her that changed everything for her. So first and foremost, if you do not know, I have amazing new courses. I have a brand new one, Self-Sabotage Detox, which is all about rewiring you and your love life. I break down the most common ways you're subtly and not so subtly sabotaging your love life. And then what can you do so you stop? Because I want you to win in love, baby. And I want you to also win in your life. It is super cheap. It is only $27. These prices are fucking unheard of. You're not going to get anywhere else these types of courses. They have anywhere from 15 to 20 modules, guided visualizations, meditations that I make, plus comprehensive workbook. So I suggest you snag it up before I raise that price, because I'm raising all the prices on all of them. So let's talk about this. So the subconscious loop. This is how the subconscious mind works. It loves familiarity. And this is why so many of you intentionally keep repeating the same relationship patterns, because it feels safe and it feels familiar. And in fact, it's happening on a subconscious level. You're not even aware of it. You're just automatically drawn to people that are versions of themselves that are not going to manifest for you the relationship you want or experience you want. And instead, you're going to you're drawn subconsciously to people that are going to offer you the same shitty experiences that cause you pain in your love life. So these patterns, they come from your unhealed wounds, babe. They're past beliefs that keep you trapped, and it's in your subconscious. So if you're living through old beliefs, you're never going to get the love you actually deserve and want. You'll keep calling in and manifesting in versions of relationships that validate your insecurities and fears, that validate the belief system that you have fixed in place that says love hurts, that love is a letdown, love is hard. Whatever all of that story is, it is programmed in your subconscious. So how do you break this cycle? Because this is what's important. And this is where I really had to help my client that I'm thinking of in particular. And I'm going to tell you what the outcome was for her. But it obviously, I've been saying this for years, right? I'm the one that shouted this from the fucking rooftops when nobody was talking about it. Self-concept work. This is the foundation to building your dream house, i.e. your dream life. And it's having the ability to choose who you want to become now, not based off who you've been. Your future isn't determined by your past unless you choose to keep replaying the same story and beliefs. It's time to flip the script and decide who the hell you want to be going forward. This is what conscious creation is. This is deciding that even though this was in my past, even though I used to believe this about myself in love, even though these are the types of experiences I used to have, even though this is the way I lowered my standards for myself, I don't have to keep being her. I can actually change my story. I can learn to become someone who is no longer subconsciously and definitely consciously drawn to versions of people who are not going to give me what I want. This is the most powerful thing. So how do we do it, right? Well, obviously you need to be not only changing your thoughts, I mean, that is the most critical thing, but you need to embody this version of yourself. And what does embodiment mean? It's a two-pronged approach. One is I want you to feel the experience when you feel unworthy, to shift and train yourself to choose the state of worthiness rather than unworthiness. When you feel insecure and not good enough and scared, I want you to choose the state of security, worthiness, I'm good enough, and safety. And practice having that feeling and emotional experience rather than the one that in your past you have felt dominantly. The other way you're going to embody is by being the version of you who actually knows her worth. So that means you're going to say no to things you used to say yes to. You're going to set certain boundaries that claim your worth, because a lot of you fool yourselves. And this is what was happening with my client. When she came to me, she was stuck for several months because she kept affirming and thinking a new story. However, her behaviors in her 3D reality were showing her that she did not own her worth and value, that she really didn't believe she was worthy and deserving of more because she kept accepting low standards from this specific person. And when she would call new people in, she was lowering the bar yet again. And she was misled, because so many people mislead you all. That's why you have to be very careful with who you listen to. She was misled because people were telling her all you have to do is affirm. And that is not true. It is not true. So I push back all the time because I know I had to do this for myself. So I understand what it takes. And like I said, I have probably the best success with the amount of people. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of testimonies at this point. And the thing is your actions and the choices you make in your 3D reality dominantly are based off your belief system. Think of how many things you've given up on. Could be small things, big things in your life, because you believed it wasn't worth it. You believed that you weren't going to get it, so you just gave up. So your actions changed in your 3D. Why do you think businesses fail? Businesses only fail because the people who are creating these businesses, they don't believe in themselves and they don't believe in their success. And when they're choosing maybe a bad strategy or they're missing something, because when you're starting a new business and you've never been a business owner or an entrepreneur, it's a huge learning curve, which is why most people don't end up being successful with it, because they give up. They're not all in. They don't believe in their future self. They're allowing their past self to control and dictate their choices right now. So they'll look at, well, last month I didn't get any clients or I didn't make any money. So then they're perceiving and assuming that, next month it's going to be the same way. So eventually, whether it's that next month, if you carry that same belief and those same habits and choices rooted from that version of you, you're going to eventually quit. You're going to have to close your business or give up on it because you're not generating the money. It's the same thing in love. I think about when I had a low self-concept in love. Didn't matter who I was dating. It did not matter who I was in a relationship or who I was dating. When I did not know my worth and value, I always lowered the bar for myself. And it was based off the old me, that the subconscious programming was like, all I knew is this is my experience in love. This is how I feel, waiting for that shoe to drop, waiting for them to leave. When they would show me that they were into me and in love with me and giving me everything I want, I felt completely overwhelmed by it. And I didn't know how to act with that. It was foreign to me. It was not my natural way of being in my love life. So then I would sabotage and create experiences based off my old experiences, based off my old circumstances, my old story of me. And then I would make conscious decisions. And then there would be subconscious choices that would kick in that I wasn't even aware of, where I would sabotage, where I would push love away, where I would manifest exactly what I didn't want. So when I was working with this client, this is where she was stuck. She was affirming, but she kept being the old her. She kept saying yes to the things of where she was lowering the bar for herself, settling for breadcrumbs, and she was not getting much movement. She would get the stupid random text once in a while. She would get, him mirroring back to something that, she had been affirming he would say to her. But ultimately, dominantly was the same hot and cold cycle, the same cycle where she felt unworthy, insecure, was hanging over every fucking text he was saying, not saying, over analyze, like nothing was changing. And she was getting frustrated. She was like, this shit doesn't work. But she knew it does, because that's why she came to me. Because when people come to work with me, they are ready. They're ready for massive results. They're ready to do their inner work. They're ready to go all the fuck in, because that's what it requires. It requires a commitment to you. It requires you to choose the future you now. It's not about, I'm just going to be who I've always been and then things will miraculously change. No, if that was the case, then none of us would even be on these channels. There would be no conscious manifestation channels, because we all would have won off that strategy, and it don't work, clearly, because we're all here. So it's understanding you have to embody. So embody is not just feeling, it's also about being. If I know my worth and value, I do not settle my worth and value, period, point, fucking blank. So she got this. I coached her, shown that bright ass flashlight on her blind spots, pointed out to her where she still was acting from her past self rather than choosing her future self now and bringing her future to her. And she started changing her behaviors and her responses. And within like a couple months, he started taking off. He started acting very different, was coming in more hot regularly and consistently. She kept doing the inner work. She kept showing up and embodying her new self, and she got what she wanted. And now it's been like a year and a half, and they're together, and it's amazing. And this is the first time in her life she's had a long-term relationship where it feels good and it's not rooted in cheating and lying and betrayal. So this shit works, babes. So you have to let go of your past when you're manifesting, because when you keep focusing on past failures, past experiences, your past fears, you're stuck in that version of you. You've literally anchored yourself in that reality, and you're trying to create a new reality and have a new experience, but you're stuck in the old you. So when you cling to the past, you're saying, and you're being a version of you that's still deeply rooted in, I am not worthy of anything or something better. But when you heal and reprogram and choose your new story and the new you, the future you right now, you don't wait 6 months from now, you start practicing her now. Oh my gosh, baby. Everything around you will start shifting. Everything will be aligned. You'll just start dominantly having a whole new experience. And it takes practice being this new you, because it's not familiar to you, right? Like, I did not shift my entire self-concept and love in fucking 48 hours. Nobody does. If you've believed these things and have lived since your childhood with programming that you believe you're not worthy, you're not going to shift it overnight. But it's okay. You'll change it, but it's about anchoring it in. You can change anything in 1 second. You can change anything with a new thought. But to get it to stick, to really embody and be this new way, so it's naturally you thinking this way, naturally you assuming these new perspectives, naturally you claiming your worth and value, and naturally not settling, it takes practice. So you do that through repetition. When you have a fixed mindset, it requires repetition to fixture in a new belief system. So if you're ready to leave behind the old version of you and manifest the love you deserve, because you do, baby, you do. You deserve it all. The life, the love, whatever it is you want. I have got those amazing courses below that'll change your fucking life. I will see you in the next video. Bye.